Hey friend, welcome back to another episode of Mastering Post-Production Sound. My name is Joel D. Catalan. I am a sound re-recording mixer, supervising sound editor. I've been part of the post-production sound industry for the past 16 years, and I'm here to help empower you to navigate, believe, and thrive in the post-production sound industry. So today, we're going to dive into something that might be a little bit technical for some, but trust me, once you've gotten through this video, you're going to have a little better grasp of it, and hopefully it's super helpful for you. But I'm talking about VCAs and how they play a crucial role in mixing, especially when it comes to mixing sound effects and working with pre-existing volume automation, which is something I do all the time. So what exactly is a VCA? Well, VCA stands for Voltage Controlled Amplifier, but in the context of mixing, a mixing console, you can think of the VCA as a master fader for a group of tracks. But unlike a traditional subgroup, for instance, like a bus, right? It doesn't combine the actual audio of all those tracks. So for instance, here you'll see that these tracks right here, these A effects, all these, right, feed this bus, the A bus. And then that bus goes to the 5-1 bus over here. Oops, sorry about that. And the same thing with B. The B effects feed this bus right here, and then they feed the overall effects bus. Same thing with C, okay? So instead, what happens is a VCA controls the volume levels of each track in the group. And you'll see exactly what I mean right now. When I grab this VCA here, look at that. It is adjusting the overall level of all of the tracks, okay? But it's also maintaining the relative volume automation that already exists there. You'll see indicated by the difference of lines, the blue line and then the red line. The red line being the pre-existing volume automation, and then the adjustment with the VCA group. Okay, so let's look at it a little bit deeper. Let's go over here really quickly. I have a couple samples to take a look at. But these tracks right here, okay? So there's just some sound effects of a car. Let's take a look. Okay, so you'll see in here, there's not a ton of existing automation right now. There's some, okay? There's some. You'll see within that particular track. This VCA here, okay, what this VCA is going to do is, I'll just click this really quickly. This VCA is going to adjust all the tracks. Here we go. Actually, let's go into preview. It's going to adjust all the tracks. You see this? It's going to follow that, okay? And let's get this out of the way. There we go. You see that, okay? So, for instance, let's go and play this. Get out of preview. Okay. So here's the sound, just a motor, right? And as we get to the steady of this car, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adjust the volume so you can actually see what happens, okay? So let's take a look. Oh, let's get into preview here real fast. All right. Oops, forgive me. Here we go. Okay. Okay. You see this? You see that? As I move my VCA fader, what's going on is all these tracks up here are being adjusted. And when I hit stop, you'll see, look at that. See, the blue line represents the automation for the VCA. And then you have above that the automation that's already in the track, okay? Here's another example. Here's a little bit of a fight, okay? And in this fight, we have a bunch of punching and combat stuff here. There's some design up here. These stereo whooshes right here, okay? This is kind of some support, some stereo support for these different tracks right here. But what's different than these that I showed you earlier is that I've broken this up with a VCA for the monos and a VCA for the stereos here. So I'm just going to solo these. We're just going to concentrate on this because do you see how many? We have a lot of punches, right? A lot of things right here. So in order for me, here's really where it works really well is instead of going in here and individually manipulating the volume automation for each track, I'm going to use the VCA to get through it quicker, okay? So let's solo this. Grab my VCA. Here we go. And bring it down a little bit. Raise it now. Okay, so I just look what I did. I just did that with all these tracks, and you'll see here as we zoom in, you could already see it right there. The automation there moves. Okay, look at the red line. See the red line? Nothing's moved with the original automation. It's kept that, all the little nodes right there, right? Which really is nothing. But if there were more, for instance, like right there, you see that right there? That line there? It held the relative automation there. And so basically what I did with the VCA was I was able to get through this little section much quicker. So imagine if you had, if you're a designer or you yourself had several tracks that had different kind of automation within them, like more like this, right? It would be maintaining, as you see here, the automation the existing automation, right, in the red, and then adjusting relatively the blue line there, you see the move, which corresponds with the VCA there. And then what I would do is I would go down here to the stereo version of these whooshes, and then I would go ahead and take a pass doing that so I can get through the material quicker. Getting through a fight is much quicker when I'm using my VCA. So, I don't always split them up with the 8 mono and 8 stereo with a mono VCA and a stereo VCA, that controls them all. But sometimes I do. Like I have templates that do that. If it's more of an actioning kind of thing, I'm going to have dedicated tracks for that. As opposed to up here when I'm just, this VCA is controlling all the tracks, the mono and the stereo. So it's really up to you. You can do it however you want to. But that's just a quick example of doing sort of like a little bit of a fight. And then obviously, as you can see, there's a lot more information. Oops. Right here. There's a lot more information to get through. So if I'm going through this and I want to get one pass just to see where I'm at, to listen to the material quickly, then using the VCA is a really great way for me to get through it much quicker, more efficiently. So that's an example of a much more busier section, and really the case study for why using VCAs, in my opinion, are one of the best ways to get through a lot of material quickly. I operate with food groups, as you may have seen. If you haven't seen the video, I'll leave a link. Maybe something will pop up here on the top. You go check out how I use groups, okay, food groups, when it comes to mixing effects and backgrounds. But the VCAs are something that, really for me, I have found really get me through the content much quicker. When I'm working on some of these big, superhero shows, big films with a lot of tracks, using a VCA it's my friend. It is my friend, and I highly recommend you giving it a shot. So there you have it, friend. A quick dive into what a VCA is and how to use it. If you found this video helpful at all, friend, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And if you have any questions at all or want to just share how you personally use VCAs in your workflow, do me a favor, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. So that's what I got, friend. And until the next time, happy mixing. I'll see you in the next episode of Mastering Post-Production Sound.